watching and listening to Breakfast with Stephen and Ellie.
Let's go through the papers. Excuse me, joining us this morning, the host of the Blethered podcast, Sean McDonald, and the writer and commentator, Candice Holdsworth. Good to see you both this morning. Candice, let's start with you, should we? And the front of the Mail, as we teased a little bit earlier on.
Yes.
The eco-clowns, as they call them.
Yes, everyone's favourite eco-protesters, Just Stop Oil, are at it again. So this is front page of the Mail. They're basically saying, what are we going to do to stop these guys? Because as a lot of people have seen at the Chelsea Flower Show, they threw orange paint all over one of the exhibitions. And also there's another group as well called Animal Rising. And they kidnapped 3 lambs from the King Sandringham estate, claiming to save them. We don't know where they are. They've hidden them somewhere.
From what?
Slaughter.
Oh, well.
But we have no idea where these lambs are. Are they being looked after? Are they having a better life? I mean, there's just like no information.
It's theft.
It is theft. It absolutely is.
Why would they attack the Chelsea Flower Show? I don't understand. What's wrong with flowers?
Well, exactly.
Now?
This is the big criticism. I mean, it's just confused behaviour. And as people have said, the Royal Horticultural Society, they are so big on sustainability. I mean, you basically can't get an exhibition in there without proving that your garden's sustainable. So it just makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, at least these idiots are just throwing orange paint all over themselves.
But no one's even stopping them. They're just continuing to throw orange paint.
Yes.
Sean, what do you make of these pictures we're seeing?
I think this is pretty ridiculous, and I feel like, you know...
Oh, someone's got a hose on them now, finally.
Yeah, but you're pointing out that nobody's really confronting them, because it's hardly the most confrontational, aggressive bunch, is it? The Chelsea Flower Show, like, leave it out. Listen, I'm all for protest, and I usually argue the point and say, look, protest is meant to be disruptive and it's getting the point across, but it is getting to the point now, and I don't toe the party line. You know, I'll say what I feel, and while I'm for protests, I'm like, it's now getting a bit ridiculous, and it's going to end up becoming counterproductive, and it's going to actually counteract their point, because you're having people turning against them, and when it then starts to diminish and sort of deflate the actual original aim, then you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? And I think they should maybe think of another way.
They just seem very self-entitled.
Very much so. It seems to be attention-seeking. I mean, they know there was a sort of split between Extinction Rebellion and Just Stop Oil on these tactics. So Extinction Rebellion wants to take a more mild-mannered approach, where Just Stop Oil is continuing with these disruptive behaviour, and it's not furthering their cause. People just get angry about it, and there's also calls for stricter laws to police them, because people are like, how can they be allowed to just carry on like this? So yeah, it's causing a lot of problems.
OK, Sean, let's go to a story in The Guardian now. This is Police Scotland is a racist and sexist Chief Constable.
Yeah, we've got outgoing Chief Constable Serene Livingston has basically said Police Scotland is institutionally racist and discriminatory, and he is basically saying that as he's going out, if we want to see change, then we have to start acknowledging these issues. Now, this has been welcomed by Amar Anwar, who in Scotland is a very prominent and famous human rights lawyer, who his background story is basically that he was racially attacked and racially verbally abused by the police. And that was one of the things that sort of instigated him moving into the industry that he's in and the vocation that he has.
I just wonder, why hasn't the Chief Constable said something before he's leaving the job?
Honestly, you make a great point. I've honestly thought the same. Public acknowledgement is obviously very important. And, you know, the first way to the advancement and improvement of society is acknowledgement, and then you can start to interrupt patterns that have existed before, and you can start to make change. But I honestly asked the same question. I thought, why has he not said anything? Because he's now leaving it to his successor to come in and sort of deal with that mess. I think it's positive, and we've also had First Minister Hamza Yousaf who said that he welcomes it. I think they both said that they thought this day would never come. Racism in Scotland is a very insidious thing, but it's very much existent. And a lot of the ills that do exist in Scotland, I think as a collective in Scotland, we sometimes have the tendency to look to England and say, no, that's a British problem, that's English, that's a Westminster issue. But the actual fact is, And the uncomfortable truth is that racism does exist in Scotland, and I'm glad he said it, and I hope we can now move forward. But yeah, I just wonder why hadn't he said it before now?
Yeah, when he could have done something about it, potentially. Candice, let's have a look at the Times, should we? Just briefly. Northerners are in for knighthoods. Knighthoods for all Northerners.
Yes, knighthoods for all Northerners. Those of us with Northern roots, we deserve a knighthood, definitely.
You don't count.
Of course I count. I used to live in the north.
Yes, but you've got the South African accent.
So, my family have been there for a very, very long time. Yes.
Oh, well, okay.
There you go. She can join the club.
Right, so this story is in the Times. This is the front page of the Times. And it's Rishi Sunak is telling Whitehall that they have to be a bit more equitable in their distribution of knighthoods. So they're finding that a lot of the knighthoods tend to be given to people who live in the southeast, London, and very few, for instance, from the East Midlands. So, in recognising, regional achievements as well, people who've done things, not necessarily big national names, but people who've done stuff in various parts of the country.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
I agree entirely. It'd be very nice to see someone from the East Midlands, from Nottingham, going up to the King. I up it up and getting their knighthood. Very good too.
I'd like to see you get one.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you
It'll
both
be
very
very
much
good.
indeed. Well,
Thank you.
Sue in Stockport agrees. She says, you've only been on my screen for 2 minutes and you already made me smile. If I was in the position, Ellie, I would make you a dame.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Stephen, I would make you a knight.
Is that you two
Because
sending
you would-
yourselves emails again?
You were too young to be a lord. Oh, there you go.
Oh, you're too young to be a lord.
Be a lord.
Ever the charmer, Sue. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sue. Yes.
And Mark says, I agree that you shouldn't be taking awards for the job that you do. Well said. Stephen said he wouldn't accept one for services to broadcasting, because it's his job. It's what he's paid to do. But Mark says, I love your show, and we did vote for you in the Trick Awards. You will win that award.
Well, we shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see.